Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number... I have no idea, I'm sorry, 40 something, I know that. I'm going to say 45, it's probably not, but you've already seen the number in the thumbnail and in the title. But we are here, the first shows of 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah. Let's start with a bang, and as you can see here, we are at Dynamite, and AJ, Mendes and Nigel McGuinness are revealing the tournament brackets for the women's #1 contendership tournament. So let's take a look at those right now. And here we have a nice little graphic made by yours truly and my fiance. She helps me make all the graphics. She's got a very, very creative mind. But yeah, here we go. So on the left hand side we have Dynamite, and on the right hand side we have Collision, and you can see right in the center the big news, the big reveal that both the winners of the Dynamite bracket and the Collision bracket will face AJ Mendes in a 3-way match at AEW Blood and Guts, which happens, I believe, week 1 February. It's either week 1 or week 2 February. I'll let you know either way. But just looking at the breakdown here, we've got Hikaru Shida facing Jordan Grace, Paige Van Zandt facing Sky Blue, Kairi facing Layla Hirsch, and Shayna Baszler facing Deonna Purrazzo in the Dynamite bracket. 2 of those matches you will see in this episode. And on the Collision side, we have Ashley Blackheart taking on Britt Baker, Demi Bennett taking on Toni Storm, Mia Yim taking on Jamie Hayter, and finally Tay Mello taking on Miyu Yamashita. And we will have 2 of those in today's episode as well on Collision. So there'll be 2 matches each show per episode until obviously we get to the final, and then there'll just be the 1 match on each show. So yeah, a month-long tournament should be good. Who's your money on? Let me know in the comments. But just heading back to the show now. Here we are, and yep, so that's 808 segment. They've revealed it. AJ's a little bit in shock over the 3-way news because she did not know that, but we'll hear more from her about that later on in the show. But following this, Tony Schiavone has Sky Blue in her freestyle segment and pre-show, of course, just reacting to her inclusion in the tournament. And the reason why we've done this is just to handle a gimmick change. So she is now a Chicago-born gimmick change, just because her previous gimmick was stale. So we've handled that change. 6-8 segment. Sky's obviously very happy, slightly surprised, but she's here and she's going to do her best. And she is obviously in action tonight. Following this, we've got 2 pre-show matches. Christian and Luchasaurus are teaming up. It's been a while since they've teamed up, and they take on the Von Erichs and of course get the win. Christian wins with a spear. 61 rated match, not that great. To be fair, these 4 guys aren't exactly world beaters in the ring, but they do their best. And Christian Cage and Luchasaurus got a tag team specialist bonus. That's interesting. Maybe because they're both good in tag teams, but not necessarily together because they don't have the chemistry one, but I don't know. And then we've got 1 final pre-show match. Let's just get to that. And it's AR Fox taking on Kyle Fletcher, and Kyle Fletcher getting the win, keeping that Aussie Open momentum going with a 72. That's a really good score. They've got great chemistry. There we go. That helps even more. Well done, AR. And, 77 from Kyle Fletcher. Awesome. Okay, we are heading into the main show now. Our first Dynamite show of the year. Let's go. And we open with CM Punk and Bullet Club Gold saying they're setting an open challenge. They're bringing in the new year with a bang. And they are setting an open challenge for anyone who wants to take on their World Trios titles. And who steps up? It's only the best friends, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Chucky T. Ron Killings is with them, but he's not taking part in the match. It is these 3 men. And Punk just says, okay, you've got it. Main event tonight. We'll see you guys there. So the match is set. It's CM Punk, Chris Bay, and Kenta of Bullet Club Gold taking on the best friends of Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Chucky T. 100 rated segment. You can't go wrong when Punk's got a mic in his hand, can you? Following this, we have our first women's tournament match, and it's Hikaru Shida taking on Jordan Grace. And in a decent match, Hikaru Shida defeats Jordynne Grace in 21 minutes with the Tamashi, a lengthy match, but deservedly so with that 72 rating. Hikaru with a 79, almost breaking the 80s, and Jordynne Grace with a 60, which again isn't bad. So Hikaru advances. She is very keen to get her women's title back from AJ Mendes. So you can definitely rest assured that she is going to be all guns blazing throughout this tournament and over the next month. But unfortunately for Jordynne, she is out of the tournament in the first round. Following this, though, we head backstage and we've got Renee Young talking to Matt Jackson. Obviously, there's been a bit of beef between Matt and Nick. Well, I say beef, it's quite severe beef. Nick attacked his brother just before the new year, which was a huge shock to us all because, you know, the Young Bucks have been, like, the Young Bucks, like, they've never just been individually Matt or Nick Jackson. They've always been together. And Matt says that he just thinks, you know, pressure's getting to him. They haven't had any title opportunities in months. You know, obviously the loss of the title matches with Daniel Garcia, they're playing a toll on him. You know, some personal reasons. He says it's nothing to worry about, Renee. It was just blowing off steam. I forgive him. And that's why I've set a match up for tonight, just for us to get the ball rolling again and to just, you know, get back to winning ways. So Matt has organised the match up next, facing the Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, and he hopes that his brother Nick will be there ringside. Unfortunately for Matt Jackson, his brother did not turn up, but he organised the match, so he has to take part in it, and the Guns obviously get the upper hand. Although it wasn't the most convincing of wins from the Guns, Matt Jackson definitely pulled his weight and did some excellent work. However, Nick did eventually make an appearance, and that wasn't to tag himself in, that was simply to attack his brother. You can see here Nick Jackson ran in and attacked Matt, which then allowed the Guns to get the upper hand and secure the victory. Matt with a 79, which is, you know, really good for him being on his own. A 67 overall, which isn't great. Austin and Colton not doing well at all. I mean, come on, guys. Billy Gunn was there as well. Of course he was. Matt came out looking good, you know, held his own for like a decent amount of time when it's a 2-on-1, and then being blindsided by his brother, which is, you know, just not good at all. Nick Jackson has got a lot of things to answer for, and will we ever get those answers? Who knows? But poor Matt hasn't done anything wrong in my eyes, but according to Nick, he's done something, I guess. Moving on, we have a promo from the biggest disappointment of 2023, Adam Cole. 58. What is that? What is that? Hold on a second. No, this is what annoys me. So, man did a 4-minute promo using the microphone. Adam Cole's mic skills are like 90 in this game. Just let me work out that maths. How the hell is he getting a 58? I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Biggest disappointment. I'm not doing this on purpose. It's just the numbers that this guy's producing. But he says that 2023 wasn't his year. And I mean, it looks like 2024 isn't either. But he vows to be better. The reason he's out here with Roderick Strong is because, of course, they are a tag team. And thankfully, based on this crappy promo, Adam Cole is not in action yet. Next, it is in fact Roderick Strong who is in action next. And he is facing off against the recently solo-made Keith Lee, who has decided to depart from Bullet Club Gold due to CM Punk's recent actions. And that is up next. There we go. That's the kind of numbers we want. We should be pushing Roddy, not Adam. Actually, 68. We should be pushing Keith Lee, 83. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Keith Lee gets the win in 18 minutes with the Spirit Bomb. I think I marked this match as a steal the show. And so far, steal the show they did. Great performance here, got the crowd buzzing. Good old Keith, decent one from Strong, but yeah, Keith Lee 83, wow. After this though, we do head backstage and we finally hear from AJ Mendes, and she is not happy. She wasn't aware that it would be a 3-way. She said to Nigel, this is unacceptable. I wanted competition. I didn't want the best of Dynamite and the best of Collision at the same time. And Nigel was like, hey, I gave you 5 people at our last show and you beat all of them. The least I can do is give you 2 in this next one. He was like, hey, as you said, you know, you're the best women's wrestler in the world, so don't worry about it, AJ. And she's like, I guess you're right. So yeah, she's not happy about it being a 3-way at Blood and Guts, but unfortunately that is what's going to happen. So yeah, but luckily they are on commentary for all of the matches, so AJ gets to analyze everyone during those matches. Speaking of matches, we have got our next round match. It's Paige Van Zandt against Sky Blue. And in a terrible match, apparently, Sky Blue defeats Paige Van Zandt. She gets the win. She defeats her with the sliced bread. Apparently, Chris Jericho was still at ringside. Haven't changed that. I'm just assuming he was there to scold Paige Van Zandt. Paige with a 47 and Sky with a 39. Sky Blue advances and will face Hikaru Shida in the next round. Oh, I mean, good luck, Sky. That's all I have to say. We do head backstage now quickly because Tony Schiavone has managed to get hold of Nick Jackson. And he just says, Nick, like, you know, past couple of weeks, you've been more and more distant towards your brother, and then that resulted in an attack before the new year. Today, he tried to, you know, make amends, and you've attacked him again. What's the reason for this? And Nick just kind of looks at Tony like really, really like he's proper pissed off, and he's just like, none of your business, Tony. And then he just walks off, and it's like, Tony's like, I tried, guys. I tried. So Nick Jackson keeping everything close to his chest, and except his feet, because he's been super kicking the life out of his brother. But yeah, Nick has an issue with Matt. It could be the losing streak. It could be something else. We'll have to wait and see if we ever find out. But I imagine this is not going to be ending anytime soon between the two of them. Matt obviously wants his brother back to how it was. Nick clearly wants something different. So yeah, who knows? But this is our final segment before our main event. Bullet Club Gold taking on Best Friends in a World Trios Championship match. Who's your money on? Let me know. Let's get into it. A 76. Oh, this is going to be a poor show. What a way to start the new year, I guess. A 76 rated match. Kenta was penalized by his poor form. I've looked into it. Apparently that's something that people just get, and it lasts for a while. So we might have shot ourselves in the foot by having him join Bullet Club Gold, but we didn't know that beforehand. So in a decent match though, Bullet Club Gold get the win. CM Punk makes Orange Cassidy tap out with the Anaconda Vice. In terms of ring work, obviously CM Punk was head and shoulders above everyone else with a 91. Go on, Punk. He's been getting better week in, week out as well. So that is very exciting. Looking at the other numbers, Orange Cassidy with a 70. Kenta, even though he's in poor form, got a 68. And everyone else got a 63. And that is how we end our show. And I've got a sneaky feeling we might lose some popularity. Okay, only in one region, an 80 somehow. Well, I feel like these 200 rated segments and the 195 definitely helped us. But okay, we somehow increased popularity. I thought this show was pretty lackluster, and not to obviously, you know, shit on the women, because we're doing our best with them at the moment. Having 2 women's matches every week is going to be something that may bring the scores down. Obviously, Hikaru and Jordan put on a great match, but we can't expect all of them to be at that level. But we can do our best. So that is Dynamite. We are all good to go. Let's move straight on to Collision. Actually, no, we're not. Let me show you Adam Cole's stats, and then you guys will understand why he is the biggest disappointment. I'll see you guys there. Okay, and here we are. Let's look at this boy, all right? Adam Cole, baby, here he is. Look at these stats. Hold on. So technical 70, flashness 81, psychology 90, experience 100, charisma 91, microphone. Okay, microphone wasn't 90, but it's an 84, so you should not be cutting a 50-something promo. Like, am I wrong? Star quality 85, you know, basics 92, selling 81, look, 93, 91, 94, 81. And let's be honest, he's been getting some really poor matches. We can actually look at this match history. Okay, none this year, but all years. Look, highest rated match is a 72, and that was the most recent match he's had. Like, in his entire career with us. This is all the way back, even the Blackpool Combat Club days. You know, how? I don't get it. Well, it's 72 here as well, but obviously in this one's going to be good. You got Kenny, Matt, Nick, Kota, and Lij. Like, this is what I mean by biggest disappointment. And yeah, we'll have to see. He says that 2024 is going to be his year, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, that's all I wanted to show you. You can see the numbers. It's not my fault. It's Adam Cole, babies. Let's just jump to Collision, an Adam Cole free show, and see what goes down. All right, and we are here for AEW Collision. Just the first, not the first, just the one. I mean, I'm terrible with my words sometimes. Just the one pre-show match for this show, and then we head straight into the main Collision show, and it is a tag team match between 2.0 and House of Black. And in a bout that had decent wrestling, House of Black get the win. Brody King pins Angelo Parker with the Gonzo Bomb. Malachi Black with a 76. Where did this come from? So I listed this match as a wild brawl because I know that Brody and Malachi are good at brawling, and maybe that's the secret for Malachi Black, a 76. I think that's his highest score to date. Maybe that's what we're doing wrong with Adam Cole. Let's put him in a brawling match, yeah? Yeah, anyways. 68, decent. Congrats to House of Black. Sorry, 2.0. I don't use you guys enough. But there's a reason for that. Moving swiftly on, we're going to head straight into the main show. And Hangman Page is opening the show, talking about his rematch with Jay White, when suddenly he is interrupted by the Combat Club's leader, Jon Moxley. And Jon Moxley kind of takes the piss a little bit. He was like, why is it that when champions lose, they get a rematch? They're being rewarded for losing the belt that they held. Whereas you've got someone like me who defeated Bryan Danielson in an Iron Man match, took care of Eddie Kingston and his goons, hasn't lost a match clean, in inverted brackets, in a very long time, and just been, consistent across the board. Whereas Hangman here, yeah, you've had some great matches, my boy, but you lost your last one. I didn't lose my last one. So I don't really see why you're deserving of a rematch. And Hangman responds with, you make some fair points, John. You haven't lost in a while. You've been dominant, but you haven't been at the top of the card in a very long time. And I'm afraid that, that might be a bit too much for you at the moment. So if you want to step up, step up. If you don't, then maybe you should maybe go back to the trios belts or something, like a little bit heelish from Hangman Adam Page here. But Nigel comes out and goes, boys, relax. Why don't we settle this the way that we always settle things like this? Hangman Page, you are the former champion, therefore you get your rematch clause. Jon Moxley, as I said last week, you're very deserving of being in the world title picture, but Hangman has his match first. However, should Hangman agree to this because it is your rematch, why don't we have a match next week at Collision, the main event, Hangman Adam Page taking on Jon Moxley. The winner of that match faces Jay White at Blood and Guts. And Jon Moxley is obviously very happy about that announcement. Hangman Page says, okay, I've never backed down from a challenge before. I'm not going to start backing down now. Moxley, I'll see you next week. So the match is set. Hangman Adam Page facing against Jon Moxley. The winner will face Jay White at Blood and Guts. Can't wait. But following this match, we do have a title match. Hook has set out a challenge during the week, and Buddy Matthews answered that challenge. So we've got Hook, Buddy Matthews up next. Let's see how that goes down. An 82. Go on, Hook. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Hook defeats Buddy Matthews in 21 minutes with the red rum, making defense number 1 of his recently recrowned FTW World Championship. Hook with an 85, Buddy Matthews with a 64. Love that. Let's move swiftly on where we have our first Collision women's tournament match. It is Demi Bennett taking on Toni Storm. And if I'm being completely honest, Demi Bennett is probably the favourite. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? But you never know. Stranger things can happen. But not this time. In a decent match of 70, nice. Demi Bennett defeats Toni Storm in 14 minutes with the Rip Tide, and obviously this was part of the tournament. Demi with a 71 and Toni Storm with a 64. Very good performance from Toni. One of her best, but Demi was just a bit too much to handle, and she gets the win. So she advances to the next round. Her opponent will be decided tonight, and that is between Ashley Blackheart and Britt Baker. We could get a Demi Bennett, Britt Baker quarter-final? No, semi-final. Semi-final, yes, because these are shorter tournaments. Either way, we could get Demi Bennett, Britt Baker next week, and not next week, the week after. What a match that would be. Okay, we're talking too much about what could be. Let's look at what is happening, and it's Sammy Guevara talking to La Faction, saying, yo, guys, it's been a week or two now. Like, am I in or am I not? We did the trios match. We won that. You know, what's going on? And Andrade says, Sammy, we've been talking and we think you would be good for La Faction. And he's like, okay, cool. And they're like, but we have one final challenge for you. And Sammy's like, okay, cool. What is it? And he's like, head to the ring. We'll reveal it all then. So Sammy's like, okay, cool. So up next, Sammy Guevara's final challenge, and he heads to the ring, and out comes Shinsuke Nakamura. And in a decent match, Sammy Guevara gets the win. He defeats Shinsuke, who's been a total waste of money, in 13 minutes 40 with the 6:30, a 76 rating carried by Sammy Guevara, who was off his game. So Sammy's off his game, gets a 72. Shinsuke, not off his game, gets 59. What? Doesn't make sense. Got the crowd buzzing though. We put this as steal the show because, you know, I thought they could. So far they haven't, because Hook and Buddy Matthews have stolen the show. But oh well. So Sammy wins this, and post-match, I haven't got it marked as a segment, but post-match, Andrade comes into the ring and shakes Sammy Guevara's hand. Welcome him in to La Faction. So Sammy Guevara is officially a member of La Faction, and I've changed their name to just La Faction because I don't really ever say anything else, so they're just called La Faction from now on. Following this though, we have our next AEW Women's World Championship #1 contender tournament, and that's a mouthful. It is Ashley Blackheart taking on Dr. Britt Baker. Who's your money on? Let me know. But now let's find out. And in a I got caught then. And in about that, had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Ashley Blackheart got the win with the Fright Night. Oh, here we go. During the match, Demi Bennett ran in and attacked Britt Baker. Of course, Demi has screwed Britt Baker out of a potential championship match, and allowing Ashley Blackheart to advance, someone she probably feels she can beat a little bit easier. So Ashley advances. Congratulations, Ashley. Despite obviously, you know, how you advance, you still advance. 6-8 match, not bad. They don't click at all. That's good to know. They'll never face each other again, ever. And Britt Baker is obviously pissed. She is fuming at this. Obviously, once she's woken up from the attack that she received. And Britt Baker, no, not Britt Baker, Demi Bennett is just there on the ramp, laughing her head off because she has just screwed Britt Baker out of a potential title opportunity. But let's look on the flip side. Next week, week after, we will have Ashley Blackheart taking on Demi Bennett. Could she be the one to upset and defeat the favourite of the tournament? After this match, though, we do head backstage. We've got a little promo from the Lucha Brothers, and they basically, on 87, you know what, Pentagon, I didn't realise how good he was on the mic. As soon as I found out he could speak English, boy's going to be talking all the time. He says that the Lucha Brothers are aiming for gold again. They haven't forgotten about the Golden Lovers, but they're not fussed on what gold they get. They will get a title at some point as soon as, because they are worthy of being champions and they need to be recognized as champions. So whether that's singles, trios, tag, I mean, they're the only three options. They said that they are setting their sights on gold. So the Golden Luchas versus the Golden Lovers. That'd be cool. But yeah, great promo from Pentagon. You know, he's really like intense with everything he does, so it just works. After this, though, we have Demi Bennett backstage in an interview, and she's kind of just joking with Renee. Like, she's leaning on Renee's shoulder and just being like, oh, you know, sucks for Britt Baker, but it's all about Demi Bennett, let's be honest. Everyone knows I'm the favourite. Everyone knows I'm going to win. And then I'm going to go to Blood and Guts, and I'm going to destroy AJ Mendes and whoever Dynamite want to throw at me. And then maybe when I'm champion, I might kind of repay Britt Baker for, you know, introducing me to AEW. I might give her a title shot, you know. It's the least I could do. So yeah, and then she kind of just laughs and walks off, and Renee's just like, okay, fair enough. But after this, we head to our main event, a main event that hasn't even been hyped or announced, which is because there is no hype for it. It's just a match that I wanted to see, and I want to see how it plays out. It is Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Konosuke Takeshita. I'm really hoping this is a fun match. Let's have a look and see. An 80, okay, I'll take that. Zack Sabre Jr. with an 87 and Konosuke with an 85. So in a bout that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Konosuke Takeshita defeats Zack Sabre Jr. with the Wall of Takeshita, beating him in his own game with a submission. Wow, so there was a lack of psychology in this match, which, you know, fair enough. And it deserved better announcing. Now, this has come up a few times now, and I think that's because our announcing or our announcers' stats are now lower than our average show rating and popularity. So, because obviously it's lower than our popularity, it's then not seen as something great. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah, we might have to relook at our announcers and see if we can bring someone in who's got better stats. I've already made Jericho a commentator, color commentator, but in terms of announcers, we haven't got many. Jim Ross has gone, his stats were crap. I think we've just got Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone, and I don't think any of them have got crazy high announcing. So we could be in the market for an announcer. Not that the announcers matter too much, let's be honest. It's just, you know, to avoid any negatives on matches. But yeah, 80 rating, that's pretty solid. Not the best of the night. Hook, once again, surpasses us all. Yeah, decent. I will take that, and I will now end the show. There we go. God, took its time, didn't it? An 82, I'll take that. It's increased our popularity in all of our regions, because I think our highest pop anywhere is, I think it's the tri-state area, and it's an 80. So that's decent. We will take it. Yeah, decent little card. Really, really little card if you think about it. We've got our next rounds of the women's tournament confirmed, or one half of them confirmed. Lucha Brothers are targeting gold. What that means, or which gold, we'll have to find out. Takeshita getting a decent win over Zack Sabre Jr. Not sure if that's going to carry into anything. Bullet Club Gold, or not Bullet Club Gold, Combat Club wise. And of course, the big announcement is Hangman Adam Page will be facing Jon Moxley next week at Collision in the main event. Winner will face Jay White at Blood and Guts. Cool. Thank you very much for watching this episode, guys. Let me know who you think is going to win the tournament. Let me know how you feel about, you know, whatever's happening. And yeah, we've got a really crazy January planned that's going to lead into an even crazier Blood and Guts show. That's depending on certain individuals, I guess. But I'm not going to spoil anything, so I'll leave that for the next episode and the following episodes. So thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.